Hey guys, this is Illusion Podfic, and today we're going to be reading Glowsticks and Bullet by Hyperius. This is Chapter 30. Life is not a fickle thing. You're born, you breathe, you live, you hurt, you die. Sometimes you come back, sure, but it's all the same. You're born, or reborn. You breathe, you live, you hurt, you die. At least, that's how it was for him. He was born and reborn. He lived, he breathed, he hurt, and now he was waiting to die. Permanently, this time. Dick's life is a little different. He supposes most people's lives are a little different. They get to be born, live, love, hurt, and then die. They get to love and be loved. Jason was sure he was loved once upon a time by his mom, Catherine, not Sheila, and maybe even once by Bruce, but he wasn't loved, not like Dick. And he never loved like Dick. His love was always soiled, rotten, like acid. His love always came with pain. He was okay with that, though. Content. That's the way life works for those the universe hates, and the universe hates them. He wonders if the universe is like Bruce, if it loved him once, before he came back wrong. Not that it actually matters, not really, as he was fine with the hand he was dealt. Then he met Hal. Hal taught him how to love and be loved. Hal taught him to laugh, to breathe, and to live. He was no longer waiting for death. Jason has been sleeping since the red lantern ring was removed from his finger. Guy wasn't surprised by it, since having that procedure done was exhausting both emotionally and physically. He was sure that, normally, Jason would fight his exhaustion, but since Hal was also on bed rest, he'd gone down willingly. Jason, no longer spitting lava and acid, firmly planted his face in Hal's shoulder, carefully wrapping himself around Hal's arm to avoid disrupting his bullet hole. All wrapped up around Hal in a safe cuddle. He promptly fell asleep. It was cute. Guy took a lot of photos and sent them out to everyone else in the league. Dick sure as hell has a lot of blackmail now. In the meantime, Guy has been doing his best to keep things held together. He cleaned the house, then Barry had recleaned it. He'd gotten groceries, easy snacks, and water for whenever Hal and Jason woke up hungry. He'd alerted the other lanterns that they could split up Hal's missions while he was healing, making sure no planet would explode or anything. He'd also made sure Bruce would be dealt with appropriately, though he hadn't had to do much for that. Apparently, Diana had been very betrayed to learn she put so much trust and faith into an abusive asshole, and had decided to take the lead. Clark had been aiding her too, feeling responsible for not noticing Bruce's behavior sooner. Thankfully, with the two of them so involved in Bruce's punishment, Dick hadn't had to worry. He could focus on the other brat bats and help settle them into their new life without their dad. Guy was over the stove, burning some dinner, when he heard a little noise from deeper in the house. He set the stove aside and walked to the bedroom, sticking his head in and smiling softly. Jason lifted his head, hair sticking up in every direction, eyes misted. He had the imprint of Hal's pajamas on his cheek and a little drool in the corner of his mouth. He yawned. The sight made Guy smile. Morning, sleepyhead. Hungry. And what would the young prince like for food? Jason mumbled something offensive before responding. Bread. Bread I can do. Guy smirked and walked towards the kitchen again, pulling out some wheat bread and slathering it with butter. He paused for a moment before grabbing honey and adding some of that too. Honey is good for healing, or something. Kyle told him it has sugars that are good for energy? Maybe? He walked back to his tray with a plate of bread. Here you go. Jason grunted his gratitude and grabbed his food, smiling a little when he took a bite and making a happy noise. Honey. I know, it's good. I'm the best. Guy sat next to Hal and ruffled his hand through Jason's hair, making it stand up even more. How are you doing? Good. Jason took another bite, blinked. Better. Hal is alive. Bruce is gone. Dickie has stood up for me. I'm happy. He's happy. Guy wonders when the last time he was able to say that and mean it. That's good. Guy gave Jason a little grin. I was thinking we could invite your brothers over when you and Hal are feeling better. Maybe even splurge and get a shit ton of fast food. Cheap Chinese, fries, burgers, tacos, the whole shebang. Spoil ourselves a bit. They sure as hell deserve it after everything they've been through. Jason perked up. I'd like that. It's been a while since I've seen them. It probably actually hadn't been that long, but it certainly feels like it. It's amazing how trauma makes just a few days feel like an eternity. Good, but you just focus on getting better for now. I'll plan the rest. Licking the honey off his fingers, Jason settled back into Hal's side. It didn't take long for sleep to take him once again. Guy stood, bringing the plate back to the kitchen and pulling out his phone. He dialed Dick. Hey, kid. Guy. Dick's voice had been softer recently, tinged with a bit more guilt, but genuine. He's wondered how long Dick's happiness and energy had been faked. He wondered if this is the true Dick Grayson, a little softer, a little quieter, but still holding the same flame within his heart. Jason agreed to dinner with you and the other brats. He's excited. He's excited to see all of us? Yeah, why wouldn't he be? Guy heard Dick release a shaky breath. It's been a while since he wanted to be around us. Guy supposes when Bruce was around, the man often isolated them from each other. He pitted them against each other in competitions where there would be no winner. Bruce groomed them to hate each other, but remain loyal to him. But Bruce is gone now. They can finally heal. Together. Dick can finally have his brothers back. Well, get used to it. Jason likes y'all. Holding the phone to his ear and using his shoulder, Guy looks at his burnt dinner and promptly tosses it in the trash. Anyway, it'll still be a bit before we can. Jason and Hal are still recovering, but I'll let you know when they're feeling up for it. Thank you, Guy. Really. There was a pause, and Guy heard Dick take a steadying breath. Can I come over to see Jason? Of course. I'm sure he likes someone else bothering him. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Thank you. No need for thanks. Guy kept his voice light, soft. He knows if he addresses Dick's vulnerability, he'd only be met with resistance. It seems to be a Bat's specialty, but he wore Jason down, so he's sure he'd be able to get past Dick's walls too. Soon. See you soon. Guy hung up the phone after hearing Dick's goodbye. Dick needs time, just like Jason did. But they'll all heal, eventually. They all will. There's hope now. Hope for a future where they can be happy. Hope for a future where they won't have to fight and yell and cry for attention or respect. Life is not a fickle thing, and Guy is determined to spend the rest of his life with his newfound family. Happy, breathing, and alive. Alright guys, and that is the end of Glowsticks and Bullet Holes by Hyperius. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next video.